how to measure FP. Welcome to day 18 of our Get Up and Go Challenge. That bank is really heavy. And actually this one tallies up how much money's in it when you put change in it. I love it. So you don't have to actually find another way to measure it. Of course, we're going to talk about measurement today as our tool for finding out if we're making progress financially. We're working through the SOAP framework, the S, the O, the A, the P, with respect to our finances, our financial health, our financial situation, and whatever it is that you chose to work on the topic of finances. Maybe it's, ask for a raise at your current job. Maybe it's get back to work. Maybe it's whatever it is for you. We've talked about what our situation is and then what we want it to be. That created the gap between the two. And so now the rest of the SOAP framework is how do we get from where we are to where we want to be? And will we do it in 4 days? Probably not. Let's be a little bit realistic and think about what is possible or not possible for us. Maybe you did find a job in 4 days. Maybe you did supersize your business in 4 days. I don't know anybody that supersized their business in 4 days. That's an ongoing, lifelong project for me in different businesses and areas of my life. So financial progress. How do we know if we're moving toward what we want or away from what we want? Well, I think financials, and why I like the measurement tool associated with financial progress, is it's a pretty easy thing to quantify or look at the numbers for. Now, there's different ways that you can come up with measures or key performance indicators or things that are important to you. And so you need to decide today, how am I going to measure? How am I going to know if I'm moving toward my goal or away from my goal, or moving toward what I want or away from what I want? Now, I like financial things because it's pretty easy to measure money and count money, and either I have increased my revenue enough to give me an additional net $3,000 a month, or I haven't. I either make it at the end of the month or I don't, or at the beginning of the month, whichever I choose to look at. And that's another thing. You get to decide the timing of when you want to look at a measure or an indicator. There's different elements of measurement: distance, time, accuracy, and then is it the right thing to measure? The right thing for me to measure might be the totally wrong thing for you to measure. A lot of people make this mistake in businesses and in their businesses. I've worked with thousands and thousands of business owners over my lifetime and in my career. And a lot of times we'll go in and we'll do an audit and we'll discover that they're looking at things and their numbers are off, but they don't realize it because the key performance indicators, or the numbers that they're paying attention to, there's a difference between getting all the numbers, analyzing them, and paying attention to them, and then making decisions based on those. A lot of times they're doing the things, they've got an accounting department, and they're putting the numbers together, but they're not actually looking at the data and the information and realizing that they're trending downward in certain areas. Or if they separated out the information, they would find that they've got 1 or 2 product lines that are dragging down the entire organization. And if they were just to change or eliminate those lines or those activities, they would be making money instead of losing money. The same is true in our individual lives. There's different ways to deal with our financial situation. Maybe we are living a lifestyle that's way beyond our income means. If we are, there's 2 things we can do. We can increase, and of course there's infinite things, but 2 main categories of things. We can reduce our expenses, or we can increase our income. I always say make more money instead of having to cut back on things, because that we live in an abundant universe. There's plenty out there for all of us and everyone, and it's just find different ways of bringing income and bringing resources into your life versus cutting back on the things that you really, really want. And then there's the things that, the older I get, the more I notice, and this might be true for you as well, there's so many things that I thought I needed and thought I wanted when I was younger that now they just actually feel like a burden. And I'm like, no, I really don't want to do that anymore. I used to think, and I think 2020 really brought that home for me and for a lot of us. As we were sitting in our houses and waiting for things to open up, we have all approached it in a different way. And how we approached it, I mean, the whole shutdowns and everything, was determined by a lot of factors in each of our lives that are unique and special and different. But I found myself rethinking how important certain activities that I used to think were very important were. I mean, hopping in my car and going wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, I thought that was a sense of freedom, but I think it was almost a trap. It's like almost every day I'd have to come up with a reason to leave and go do something. Go to the store, go to the gas station, go to the park, wherever. And 2020, one of the blessings of that was that we rethought how much we shop, how much time and energy we spend on shopping, how many resources we waste on shopping because we go in and wander around the store and pick up, I think we can all relate to going to the store with a list of 3 or 4 things, or maybe we forgot the list, and coming out with a cart full of stuff. And if we had the 3 or 4 things that we were supposed to have had on the list, that was a bonus, but sometimes we have to go back to the store again and get the one thing that we forgot. Have you ever done that? I know I definitely have. So 2020 gave me an opportunity to rethink the things that were really important to me. And that meant I wasn't going shopping. I wasn't spending a lot of time and energy and resources going and doing things that literally waste a lot of the 24 hours in our day. All right, off topic, measurement. So how are you going to measure the progress, whether you're moving toward it or not? I'm going to measure in dollars because I actually started out with a goal of $3,000 more a month net income so that I can do a program I want to do. And I will have the extra $3,000 a month for it, or I won't. That's pretty easy. Or if I'm making progress toward it, say at the end of August, say I'm at $1,800. Well, then I'm making progress toward what I want, right? I might not have achieved it yet, but I'm making progress toward it. So it's a pretty easy measure and a pretty easy indicator. So our action item today is to think about the thing you're working on, or from a more global standpoint, what is something about your financial situation that you could look at on a regular basis that will indicate to you if you're moving toward what you want or away from what you want. If you've got a goal of, say, $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year or $10 million a year, break that down into monthly segments, and it's easy to measure. Either your dollars are of income or net income or whatever you're looking at, gross or net income before taxes, net income after taxes, however you want to look at it. It's a very easy thing to look at. Either you're moving toward it or you're not. Or if you have toward your annual goal. I always like to break my goals down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, all the way down to what I can do today. Single daily action, I call it. What can I do today to be moving me toward this goal or objective? So measurement, and then share in the action item just one thing that you're going to measure moving forward. So me, it's going to be net income every month, right? And that's after all expenses. What is my net income every month? And I need mine to be up $3,000 from now to infinity, or as long as I want to do this project. And so pick your thing. That's my thing. Pick your thing. Mine is dollars. Dollars are easy. Pounds, if it's a health-related thing, is easy. Or time spent exercising or eating a certain number of calories. Either you hit that or you didn't, or you were less than your allotted calories for the day or not. Whatever it is, we can do this with any area and aspect of our life. We can find a measure to determine if it's working for us or not. And again, is it the right measurement? Is it a distance, a time, or an accuracy thing? And sometimes we have to make up our own scales, as we've learned with some of the tools that we've used and will continue to use throughout the rest of the challenge. That's it. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, we will be switching into relationships tomorrow, and we are going to go through the SOAP framework over the next 4 days with respect to the relationship aspects and areas of our life. So any suggestions on a particular relationship you'd like to see me work through the SOAP for, put that in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Go do this. Think of a way to measure your financial progress and share in the comments below what you're going to do. Have a great day, and I'll be with you tomorrow. Bye.